say that me and my boyfriend, we have been together for a year. Well, almost a year, 11 months. A year on February 2nd, we will have been together. Okay. My boyfriend is also 34, grown man. He also is a homeowner, has a pretty good job, and also has a business that he's starting. So let's start there, right? So recently, I obviously, like you all know, I've become unemployed, and I have not been able to find a job. I've put in like 30 applications today. I've got nothing, like barely even an interview. I've gone on 2 interviews. So I've been literally struggling, and I no longer have the funds to afford these bills. Okay. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna keep it together for this. I'm not gonna get stressed out. I no longer have the funds to afford these bills. It's something so crazy about having hundreds of thousands of dollars one day and then the next day having nothing. But that's what's going on right now. And so I am vulnerable with my man, and I go, hey, I'm gonna need to like stay with you for a little while I get myself together. Like, I don't have anything on the rent. And so I'm gonna need to move with you while I get myself together. Mind you, I said he has his own house, his own 3-bedroom apartment in a nice neighborhood.
Okay, first you said he was a homeowner. Now you're saying he lives in a 3-bedroom apartment. Which is it?
He also has a best friend. His best friend lives with him, mind you, and has been living with him for however many years that he's like lived there, almost the whole time he's lived there. And so I'm like, if his best friend can live with him, why not his girlfriend, you know?
A man feels more comfortable with his best friend due to established trust and shared experiences over the years. Their bond is rooted in familiarity and emotional security. In contrast, a newer relationship with a girlfriend may still be in the process of building that same deep connection. So don't expect to be able to just move in with him just because you his girlfriend.
So I'm like, hey, I need a place to stay. Which honestly, in hindsight, I shouldn't even have to ask for that. He knew I was struggling. He should have said, hey, let me take something off of your plate, like come stay with me so that you can breathe and get this. If he really cared about me, he would have said that, but he didn't. He sat there and he watched me struggle and then watched me get to the point where I was like, hey, I just need a break. Like, I'm literally so depressed. I'm losing my mind. I can't find anything. Can you please help me? And he said no. He said no. He said, no, you cannot live with me. Mind you, living with him is free. Doesn't cost him anything.
When a woman moves in after losing her job, several expenses will increase for that man. Utilities like electricity, water, and gas will rise. Groceries and household items will cost more, and there's the additional financial strain of covering her share of the bills or supporting her lifestyle. Additionally, the emotional burden may affect the relationship, creating stress. And she'd know that if she had good money management skills. Ma'am.
He said no. I can't live with him. At first he goes, oh, I like that we have our own places to retreat to when we get into our arguments. And wrong answer. Number one, when we get into arguments, we never leave. Like, we stay in the same room and we continue to talk it out until we work it through, which I think is a really good habit that we have.
See, talking through an argument may seem appealing to you, but clearly for him, it feels more like pressure to resolve everything immediately. While you might think it's important to talk things through right away, he likely needs a cool down period to process his thoughts. Pushing for resolution too soon can cause frustration, making it harder to truly resolve issues. It's clear this approach is taking a toll on him, and he would prefer a chance to revisit the argument when emotions have settled down, and he probably tried to tell you that long before now.
And a really good green flag that we have in our relationship. Yes, do we get into arguments? So does everyone. Yes, do I lose my cool? I'm a woman, but I rein it back in and we figure it out, and nobody goes home. So that's a weird thing to say. We've never even done that. Second of all, that sounds like a problem to me, not a solution. When we get into arguments, we should not be leaving, because what happens when we get married? There is no way to go. We both live in the same house. So maybe that's not a good habit to start. Being that we have not started yet, maybe let's not start that now. On our very first date, I told him that I wanted to be engaged within a year. I said, after a year, I want to be engaged. He said that's plenty of enough time for someone to know whether or not they want to get married or not. This is what he said. We have talked about it, I shit you not, probably 10 times throughout this year, and never once did he say, I don't think this is going well enough for that to be a realistic goal anymore. Never once did he say, hey, like, let's pump the brakes. I don't think that we're doing that well for it to get to that. So I'm thinking we're doing well. We're on schedule. After a year or a year and a half, we'll probably get engaged.
Listen, a man can't omit how he feels because he may not want to hurt your feelings or cause tension. He didn't explicitly say engagement wasn't realistic, but by not affirming it, he's leaving room for doubt. Not stating it's something he definitely wants might suggest he's unsure or he isn't prioritizing it. He could be avoiding an uncomfortable conversation, possibly because he feels pressured or hasn't yet decided if that's the direction he wants to take with the relationship.
Then he goes, I don't think I want to live with someone again until I'm married to them. Which is some new boundary that he literally just made up because he's never said that the whole time we've been together.
I honestly feel like you were probably talking about yourself and what you want so much to this man that you didn't even think to ask him what it is that he truly wanted. And now it's starting to be revealed what this man has wanted all of this time.
And I go, maybe it's not a good idea that you live with someone after you already got married to them, because what if you guys are not compatible to live together and you don't know that until after you're already married? Then what? That's really dumb, actually.
Oh my God, it's like you met this man the day y'all had this conversation. It's like, how you been with this man all of this time and you didn't know that this is what he wants? Listen, living together before marriage can help a couple understand each other's habits, values, and how they handle conflict. It provides insight into daily life, financial responsibilities, and communication styles. However, it's not always a guaranteed predictor of marital success, and some couples may become complacent or avoid serious commitment. For others, cohabitation might solidify their bond. Ultimately, it depends on the couple's goals, maturity, and ability to navigate challenges without the pressure. Ma'am, you're applying pressure to this man real quick and in a hurry.
And so I'm like, okay, that's a completely new thing. But granted, it's been a year. We set our goal for a year. Are we going to get married? And he goes, no, that was your goal. Since when was this my goal? It was my goal, but like, I thought we were in agreement because you never said that we weren't in agreement.
And he never said you were either. And the problem with this entire thing is you were never listening to this man. He never really told you what he wanted in a woman because you was too busy telling him what you wanted in a man. You never even cared about what it is that he wanted. You never even asked, or you would know this. And trust me, had you asked him, you probably would have figured out a long time ago that he wasn't for you.
Clearly, I made all this up in my head. And this was never a goal. I just thought it was a goal because I continuously talked about it. And he never said that it was unrealistic. As a matter of fact, he said the quite opposite, that it was a realistic goal to have. And never once, as we neared to the end of that year, did he ever say, hey, I don't think we're close to being married.
He was telling you it's a realistic goal for you to have, not himself. Okay? Like, y'all gotta be on the same page, and you wasn't.
So imagine my surprise when he says, I don't think we're close to being married. We still have things to figure out. Because a couple of nights ago, I got super irritated at him and yelled at him and told him to leave my house. And apparently that's enough of a reason for him to be like, whoa, I don't want to marry her.
Oh, so now we getting into the meat and potatoes of what's wrong. You already said at the beginning of the video that you got an impulsive issue when it comes to arguing. You are argumentative. That's why he doesn't want to marry you. Yes, that's enough for a man not to want to be with you. You just threw this dude out your house recently. Why would you turn around and come to him and expect him to let you in his after you felt comfortable telling him to get out of your... Girl, the attitude, the nasty attitude is why this is happening.
So yeah, and so I said, hey, I'm actually scared that I'm going to be homeless because I said, I'm actually thinking I'm going to be homeless because I don't have a job and these bills keep coming and I can't do it no more. I'm tapped out of resources. And I think I'm gonna end up, if you don't let me live with you, I'm gonna end up in my car, living in my car, something like being actually homeless. And he goes, well, plenty of millionaires have lived in their car before.
I actually respect him for having a standard and you as well. Like, he stood on business. He's not ready for you to move in. He has a roommate. He doesn't feel like he has the resources to be able to help you. He kept it a buck. He kept it a buck with you. I would appreciate that if I was you. But you should have known beforehand what kind of man that you was dealing with. And I say this with love. I'm not trying to be, judgmental, like, oh, bitch, take accountability. No, it's nothing like that. It's, you got to take your time with these men. Like a lot of time. And a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of women just move so swiftly. But you got to get to know what kind of man he is in different phases. Because a man can pretend to be whatever he thinks you want in a man for however long, right? But when it's time to apply action, when it's time for men to show you for real, like who they truly are, a lot of them fall short. That's why I asked men to show me from the beginning. I asked men to show me from the beginning, and people have been judging me because I've been literally like, listen, you can't keep hitting up my DMs, salutationing me to death, talking about some hi, grand rising queen, hey, beautiful, but not sending me breakfast. Send me a cup of coffee and a bagel. Send me some French toast or something. You know? Show me that you're serious about me and you're not just saying hello to every single woman on the internet you see. Are you genuinely interested in me? Or are you just interested in my content? Like, what is it? Like, why are you reaching out to me? And I'm telling you, it eliminates that vetting process right there. Eliminates a lot of men. Because I'm telling you, hundreds of men hit me up trying to holler in my DMs, and it's always been like that. And I'm telling you, I literally had to stop being so nice because these men would salutation me for months, just sending me hello, hello, hi, what you doing? How are you? Hey, beautiful, Merry Christmas. What about? Do you want to take this to the next level, or what are you trying to do? Why are you sending me messages every day? Like, what are you trying to gain from sending me messages? Listen, when I tell a man off break, listen, I'm looking for a man to send me breakfast. I'm looking for a single man. Is that you? It eliminates a lot of the problems and me wasting my time. So you just have to have a decent vetting process with some of these men. It doesn't mean this specific woman didn't take the time to evaluate the man she was with, because sometimes men can put on a good front, but that's why you have to learn how to have discernment. That's why it's extremely important for you to have a good relationship with God, because with you having a good relationship with God, you tend to get these type of tools that God equips you with. It makes it easier for you to deal with certain people. Like, you can see off the break something ain't right with them. I've been celibate for 7 years, and the clarity I get from just me being celibate and focusing on just my relationship with God has transformed how I see men. It's made me a better woman across the board. My last relationship almost tore up my relationship with God because I was praying so much for our relationship, and I thought that man was sent to me by God. And come to find out, had I just really came to God on some, is this dude really the right person for me, instead of just assuming this dude was already the right person for me, God would have revealed so much about him sooner. I didn't find out a lot about him until this one kid who was like into spirituality real deep, and he used to give spiritual advice. He was a teenager at the time. He had been like 17 or 18. He gave me some tiger's eye, maybe a bracelet, put that tiger's eye on, and he was telling me before he even gave me the tiger's eye, he was like, it seems like you are not clear about your life. I mean, he was so wise for him to be 17. And he was like, I can tell off of your energy what kind of person that you are. You are a really good person. And it seems like your relationship you're currently in is good for you to some degree. Like, you're gonna get something good out of it. And honestly, I did get something good out of it. I got my son out of it. But had I had a better vetting process, I probably would have had a child with a better man than him. So I honestly feel like this situation where this girl is like struggling, she doesn't have anywhere to go. She goes to her man and she's trying to get some help from him. He's not willing to. Child, you just got saved from something. You just got saved.